We're back. It's time for another edition of the Carolina Insider. It is Thursday. You know what that means, Adam. Grab the wheel. 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Not one hand, Adam. Let's be safe here. It's the Social Drive, presented by Reed's Jewelers. We're going to travel our way through social media, find some great Tar Heel clips out there. And as we do this time of year, we're starting in the NBA. And Adam, holy smokes, a lot of great NBA. Look at these numbers for some of the Tar Heels here as of late. Cole Anthony, Nas Little, Kobe White, 𝗖𝗿 𝗀𝗶𝗃, all really having some nice moments here as of late.
It's also kind of jarring to think, for example, Nasir Little, if he had stayed in college the maximum amount of time, he'd be an NBA rookie right now.
Yeah.
I feel like he's been gone for a decade, but he's really been playing well for the Trailblazers. And as Jones mentioned, a big part of that game against Oklahoma City is he had 28 points, and 2 of them were with authority.
Yeah, here comes Nas with this big dunk in transition. We'll take a look here. And Adam, I just in watching this clip, not only am I excited about the free 6-piece chicken meal, but Nas he just looks more physically mature than he's ever looked, at least to me, before.
Well, when we saw him, he was 18, and now he's been playing against men for several years, and also in activating chicken meals.
Yeah.
So he really, what else could you possibly do?
How about Cole Anthony? 8 consecutive double-digit scoring games, and we'll take a look at some of these highlights. I think Cole Anthony's such a unique story for Carolina. Obviously a terrific player. The year he was here was not a good season for the Tar Heels. I think anybody around Carolina would say they really were they regretted the fact that they couldn't have a better team around him that year, because clearly, as we see in some of these highlights, and as we know, Cole Anthony's a terrific player.
And it never felt like we 100% got to see full-strength Cole Anthony because of the injury that limited him here at Carolina. I do think when you think about Tar Heel guards over the past decade or so, he's one who probably doesn't get enough attention, as capable of doing all kinds of things, both scoring, as you've seen a whole lot of here, but also a good creator who was
and a willing creator, too. I mean, he was willing to pass.
It's unusual to have someone who's this capable a scorer who also knows where his other 4 teammates are all the time. Fun player to watch. Wish we could have watched him longer in Chapel Hill, but he's been really good for the Magic.
Another Tar Heel who we only got to see for 1 season, and unfortunately it was the year where barely anybody could even be in the arena to see him play, is 𝗖𝗿 𝗀𝗃. 𝗖𝗿, who's been bouncing between the G League and the big squad for Brooklyn, getting the opportunity to play a little bit more at the top level, and is making it pay off. 𝗖𝗿's always, I mean, look at the athleticism for his size, and you know he can finish around the rim. Couple of nice finishes there for him. Also, Cam Johnson is in Brooklyn, of course, one of our favorites. Had a terrific, even though it was just a couple years after a transfer, Tar Heel career. And Adam, he's really coming into, I mean, he's been playing well at the NBA level, but in a new spot, in a new role, and is embracing that role.
Yeah, the role now is to basically be able to play as much as he possibly can. He's been in double figures in 15 of his 17 games with the Nets since that trade from Phoenix. Fun to have 2 Tar Heels on the same team. That means there's pretty much always somebody on the court that you're rooting for. And Cam doing great work for Brooklyn in what is an important time for him, as he will be looking to sign a free agent deal somewhere here in the offseason.
Adam, it is with mixed emotions that we show this next clip, because as you said on the audio podcast earlier this week, Vince Carter, we stayed out of the dunk contest out of respect to you, and yet now you have come into our house, into the podcast land, and you're sitting here having great conversations with great guests like Antoine Jamison. Let's take a listen.
I remember they said, you guys got to be downstairs at these ready to play pickup at a certain time. I'm like, all right, we'll be there. No, you got to be here at a certain time. I'm like,
I remember that.
What's the big deal? We always there. Nobody was in the gym but us. So we sitting up stretching and stuff. Hey, man, okay, so let's get started. They're like, hold up, wait, not yet. We're going to get started in a little bit. I'm like, what's going on? And coming out of the tunnel, everybody knows the walk. And I'm like, got his Carolina shorts on, and this is our freshman year, Vince. And I played against him one game. The attention to detail, we was at the sit screen. That was the hardest I ever seen a pickup game being played in my life. I got switched out on him. I said, somebody come help. And he had that, it's like,
start getting into that, doing all this crap.
I'm like,
Adam, that was 1996. That was. I mean, Michael Jordan was good for a long time, but that would have been a tough matchup for anybody.
We'll never know what 𝗬𝗏 was actually like.
Yeah.
Once Michael Jordan started doing this.
The jab step.
Then something happened. It's a shame that both those guys have let themselves go.
Yeah, really. Yeah, come on, Vince Carter, 𝗬𝗏. In reality, could they go out and play right this second? I think probably so. Still probably put up 15 pretty easily for it. Look at him. That's disgusting.
Look how intense 𝗬𝗏 is about this story that's about to.
Vince Carter knowingly smirking because he knows what's coming. Oh yeah, two great Tar Heels. What a great time period that was for Carolina basketball for sure. And great to see those guys having fun. Adam, also great to see these next two guys. But we've talked about this a lot on the audio podcast through the years about some players being able to embrace kind of playing overseas and really enjoying that role. And I think both these guys fit that bill. Deon Thompson, Kenny Williams, together in this photo, and two guys who continue to make a nice career out of the game of basketball.
This is when Kenny Williams was playing in Greece. Deon Thompson at this point in time this season was in Turkey. Deon's now moved on to Korea as the Tar Heels continue to find opportunities all over the world. And Deon Thompson always been one who's taken advantage of those wherever they might come.
All right, let's take a look at a couple fun lacrosse clips. Adam, we start with, I didn't even know you could do this. The hidden ball trick here. Carolina pulls it out against High Point. Let's take a look.
Ty English will flip this off. Hidden ball trick. Ty English, 23, has it. Our camera guy's doing a great job, but the goalie's not. Parker Green got smoked. Our camera guys deserve an Emmy for that one. They stayed with the ball. English on the fake.
Yeah. No. Look at him. That game was produced out of Chapel Hill, out of the Woody Durham Media and Communications Center. So you know you're going to have top-notch cameramen and production value. They were on it much more, unfortunately, for High Point than their goalie was.
Sad High Point goalie, probably a meme at some point in his future. But I blame the High Point defender who was right there when the exchange either was or wasn't made. That's his job, to be able to alert everyone.
Yeah, there's sad High Point. We're sorry, it's sad High Point goalie.
He just crumbles as the goal has gone through. Look, it's already 14-8. This made it 15-8. Don't worry, bud. This didn't lose the game.
Yeah. How about on the women's side? Adam, everybody likes a good ankle breaker. Look, if you compete at a high level in athletics, at some point you're going to get dunked on or get your ankles broken. It's just part of it. But we will be here to highlight it if it looks good for the Tar Heels. So let's take a look here. That's a redshirt freshman, Mackenzie Rich. Adam, do you have a sound effect for that? Yeah, that's pretty good. Nice move by Mackenzie. And, of course, really only matters if you paid off with a goal, which she did. That was good stuff.
I'm watching a documentary on Netflix about the birth of And One. That's kind of where that all got started, where like people get their ankles broken and then the crowd goes nuts.
Right.
The crowd went nuts on that one.
Guys, don't make a big deal. Adam's watching some documentaries, okay? He's just trying to further his education.
Only the highbrow stuff about And One.
All right, we'll finish things up. If you've been joining us on the audio podcast over the last several weeks, we have been closely following this story about George Washington changing their mascot at the college level. They're the Colonials, but there seems to be some controversy about that, and so they've decided they need to change their mascot. Adam, this has been a lengthy process that includes something called Moniker Madness, which has occurred there. Look, it had pennants. If you can read, there's some of the hot suggestions: ambassadors, revolutionaries, monumentals, blue fog, squad, sentinel. I mean, high-level stuff. Now, the one that they should choose but will not put in the group is Hippos, which there is a background with the University of George Washington and Hippos. Adam and I have, along with many other people, have been championing the fact that they should go with Hippos, even though, unfortunately, it doesn't appear that they will. But Adam, maybe this will change their mind. Look at this table. Maybe they could just put that in the president's office. Chris and his cups tweeted this to us. That's a classy-looking table right there.
If you're out searching for a new athletic director, or even, dare I say, chancellor of George Washington, and you bring someone in for an interview and say, if you accept this job, this will be the coffee table.
You can have a Perrier on this Hippo table. Who says no?
They're making a big mistake. For more coverage on this hot issue, check out the audio pod.
Thanks for being with us. We'll close with that. Where else could we? We'll close with that. Thanks for being here on the Carolina Insider.